Most people assume this is just a mirror, but I want to show you how this is the most confronting and powerful tool for identity transformation and manifestation that you will ever come across. Mirror work is how I have built my self worth, my self confidence, attracted my husband, built a business that has generated multiple seven figures in revenue over the last 7 years. It is by far the most powerful tool, and I'm not the only one. You all have left all these amazing comments on all of my prior mirror work videos sharing your wins, your successes, your breakthroughs, your transformations from getting a new house to manifesting tens of thousands of dollars to attracting your dream partner. I have heard and seen it all. Today, I want to talk about not just what mirror work is, but why it works and answer some of your most common questions, because I can tell you that most of you aren't doing it right. I'm also going to do mirror work with you live during this video. I'm not scripting it. I'm not going to edit it out. You are going to see a raw, unfiltered mirror work session so you can see truly what this looks like in real time. Mirror work is not just about repeating things that you don't believe. I think sometimes people assume that we just look in the mirror and say these wonderful affirmations and say all the things that we want that we don't even believe we can have, and then wow, our life changes. No, it is identity rehearsal. It is regulating your nervous system. It is radical emotional honesty and tapping into the truth of who you truly are. Mirror work is this practice of looking yourself intentionally in the eyes and not just simply repeating some affirmations that you heard me or someone else share. It's about literally becoming someone new in the process. While you are holding that eye contact, you are literally moving into a complete new identity and reality, and your physical reality cannot help but catch up when you do that. This is why simply saying the right things doesn't matter. You can say all the right things. If the core of you doesn't feel it, it will not happen. This isn't mental work. This is literally identity embodiment. And the mirror is an incredible tool because there's just something so powerful about not just speaking things out, writing things out, but literally seeing yourself do it in the process, hearing your words, watching your mouth move. And I'm going to show you some examples, but I'm also going to do this with you live. What most people will do when they do mirror work, they either put up the mirror and look away, so you're not actually making direct eye contact, because again, it is wildly uncomfortable if you've never really allowed yourself to see yourself to hold your gaze. The other thing most people do is go further along than their belief can actually carry them. So when it comes to manifestation, and I know everyone has a different opinion on this, I don't believe that I can energetically force myself somewhere that I'm not ready to go. What I find to be most helpful when I want to call in something that energetically in my core belief, I don't yet believe I can really create, be, or have, I need to go more broad, more general. So instead of today I received $5,000 when everything inside of me is screaming, no, you don't. That's not true. You're a liar. I might start to say, wow, every single day I'm finding new ways to create and attract abundance. You see how I went a little bit more general, and now I can actually get behind that feeling with authentic excitement. You cannot fake energetic alignment with what you're saying. Only you know what is actually true. So if you are feeling fake, it is because you are literally being fake. In that same vein, when we talk about identity shifting and how to use the mirror as a tool to be able to bridge that gap between the old you and the you you're stepping into, you have to be able to speak from where you are starting to where you want to go. I'm going to show you this in real time so you understand what I mean by this. First, I want to answer some of the most common questions I get every single time I post one of these videos. You all have probably seen me jump up and down in the mirror when I'm manifesting something, and some of you ask, do I have to be loud? Do I have to be expressive? Let me be really clear. I am not someone in my day-to-day life that jumps around up and down and is very expressive and loud. I actually am pretty reserved and usually the quiet one in the corner. When I'm doing this work though, I know that physical expression brings me to an energetic level that I'm tapping into. Do you have to jump up and down to get what it is that you want? No, but you need to feel the feeling. So whatever you need to do to get yourself to authentically and genuinely feel the feeling, do that. Because I know that when I get in that mirror and I start jumping up and down and I start saying, yes, you did it, I'm physically feeling energy surging throughout my body that is allowing me to align with the end result. Does that mean when it actually happens that I go jump up and down in my bed? No. I am playing into the identity I'm stepping into. And so physical expression for me, dancing, jumping, laughing, yelling, helps me get there, even if it is not my norm. Which goes back to, how do I get rid of negative talk or feeling ridiculous or not believing what I'm saying. So a few things here. Meet yourself where you are. If you are trying to say something that everything inside of you is saying, no, that's not true. No, it'll never happen. You're not good enough. You're not worthy enough. You need to zoom out. It means that you are getting too specific. So you need to find a belief that you can actually genuinely get behind and believe is possible for you. So instead of, I just bought my dream home this year, maybe I don't believe that. And when I say that, I actually feel contracted. Well, don't force that. What if instead you started to say something like, I love that my physical world is starting to reflect the inner world changes that I'm making. I'm starting to feel more abundant in the spaces that I live and spend my time in. I'm starting to feel more comfortable. I'm starting to feel more inspired by my physical environments. I am moving towards something without boxing myself into a belief that I actually genuinely can't get behind yet. Then the questions about timing and frequency. How often should I do it? What time of day? How long do I need to do it for? Here's what I really need everyone to really grasp, because this is actually what's tripping you up. You have a belief that me, a stranger on the internet, telling you to do this 3 times a day is a thing that's going to make or break. I want you to know you can create this without me. You actually don't even need a mirror to do it. I just find a mirror to be an incredible tool to accelerate results. So whether you are doing it once a day, in the morning, in the evening, for one thing at a time, for multiple desires at a time, doesn't really matter. What truly matters is the energy beneath all of them. And so if me saying it and having that moment with myself one time is enough where now I believe it, I wake up the next day, the next week, the next month, and I'm feeling that energy, great. If I find myself faltering though, and I find that maybe once a week, I need a reboot, I need to go back there again, or maybe it's once a day, or maybe it's twice a day, because maybe I'm surrounded by a lot of negativity in my day-to-day, I'm gonna do it as often as I need to believe it's already done. And even this idea of, do I do it until the goal is achieved? When you truly have embodied the practice, you understand that it's done before you physically see it. As often as you need to tap into that feeling, whether that be through mirror work, scripting, or some other methodology, I encourage you to do that. Sometimes I can do mirror work one time around something that I'm moving into, whether that is an identity shift or a physical manifestation that I'm calling in. And now for me, it is done. I don't need to say it again. I don't need to speak about it again. I am living from the end, as in I'm living from the fact that that is already true for me. If you're not there yet after the first time, that's okay too. Maybe you do need to start by doing it once a day or twice a day or 3 times a day. You will find a rhythm that works for you, but not because it's a rule in some rule book. It is because you are stepping into that energetic alignment. And on that same note, something else someone always asks is, how do I know when to stop if I'm not seeing results? Let me be really clear. There are things that I have not yet physically seen the result of, but I'm not waiting for, is it going to happen or not? I've already decided it's done. And I know it's literally just a matter of time. It's not my business how long it takes. It's not my business how it comes. But when you are truly aligned with what you are calling in, stepping into, that is the energy you have. You are not doing a practice of, in this case, mirror work with the expectation of how long does it take? Because if you're watching the clock, if you're waiting to see is it working, it will never work, because you are in energetic misalignment with that thing because you believe you don't have it yet. It is the belief of it already being done, of it already being true, that brings the thing to you. And so it's not possible for me to think about, well, is it here yet? Why hasn't it happened yet? Why is this not working? If I truly am on the other side. And if I'm not on the other side, it means I need to go back to my toolkit, my mirror work, my scripting, my affirmations, prayer, meditation, whatever that is for you, to bring myself into the alignment of this is already done. I have said many times on this channel, even from getting my first 1,000 subscribers just 6 months ago, that I know this channel has 100,000 subscribers. Today, if you look at this channel at the time of posting this video, it does not. But in my energetic field, it absolutely does. I don't need to keep doing mirror work around that. Like, it's done. I already know it's done. This is what I mean by that. There is no, oh, it hasn't happened yet. Is it going to happen? It's not working. When you are in true energetic alignment with a thing you are stepping into. This goes for manifestations, identity shifting. So if I am someone who right now is really shy and self-conscious and not confident, I may be doing mirror work around that. But guess what? I'm not going to keep speaking from that place. I have already moved on. I'm now speaking from the version of me who is using her voice more, who is finding her power, who is rediscovering her own self-worth and confidence. And do you see how I like to use those words with ing at the end? Because it allows to be a bridge where maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe I haven't fully owned my power or rediscovered my voice, but I'm finding it. I'm discovering it. This is a great way to be in the gap where you are moving towards who you want to be, how you desire your life to be. Use that ing to be in motion, where you're not stagnant where you were, but you're also not trying to force yourself to believe something that you don't yet believe at your core. You'll also see when I do this in a few minutes, sometimes I say I, sometimes I say you, sometimes I say me. You have to find what keeps you in that energy, what has you really believe and feel whatever it is that you're saying. Whether you choose to use I, you, me, or your name doesn't really matter. I really need you to understand it's less about the words. It's less even about the mirror. It is more about tapping into the feeling and the energy of already having, being, doing everything you desire. That is what moves mountains. And then in this example, I am going to show you how I use it with a handheld mirror. You can use a small mirror, a large mirror. You can use selfie mode on your phone for your video camera. It doesn't matter. With anything tied to identity transformation, manifestation, creating the life that you desire, you need to understand that there are no rules. What is the core of what we're getting to is that energy, that feeling, that belief. That can't be faked. That can't be taught. It is not a step-by-step system. It is an embodiment. And then the most common is, how do you keep momentum when your real life isn't matching up yet? Look, I get it. We have bills to pay. We have real life situations happening that may be an opposite to the thing that you are wanting to step into. Here is how I look at this. I like to say, I'm going to step out of my Delulu bubble right now, where everything I desire is already so, and go handle paying these bills. That allows me to be very conscious of the time I'm spending out of my desired reality, because most of us are spending far longer than we need to. So we ruminate on the thoughts, on the situations that are playing out that are not what we want all day long. When maybe you have 20 minutes that you need to have a conversation with someone that's maybe a little bit of an energetic drain, or you have 30 minutes that you need to take care of some money matters or pay some bills, but you don't need to be there for 24 hours in a day. And so you want to be really, really mindful and actually say to yourself, okay, I'm stepping out of my Delulu bubble, my desired reality, to step into this temporary moment in time where I'm going to handle this business, and then I'm going to step back in, because I'm not going to allow myself to be driving on the freeway thinking about all these things that ultimately are not in my control anyway, right? I'd rather control what I can, which is my inner dialogue, my energetic alignment, the feelings that I decide to feel in any given moment. I do not have to stay upset, mad, sad, depressed. I can choose at any given moment to experience joy, expansion, abundance, even when nothing in my physical reality reflects that. Feelings are chosen. You can choose that. Now, of course, there are things that can bring us out of that feeling, and I will allow myself to cry if I've got to cry. I don't believe in just toxic positivity, but I'm also not going to allow myself to stay there, right? And so it's a choice to move through that into what it is that I'd actually desire. I'm going to do a quick mirror work session with you. I have not pre-scripted this. I have literally no idea what I want to say, but I just want to show you what this feels like. And I'll be really honest with you. I've been doing this for so long now that the way that I do mirror work now is a lot stronger and embodied. Your first or 10th or 20th time may not look like this. This is my 500th time. And so be gentle with yourself and recognize that you may have some emotions come up that are unexpected. You may have some thoughts, some feelings come up. Let them rise to the surface, because we cannot shift and move through and transform what we do not acknowledge. So as always, I always say we want to just create eye contact with yourself. So I'm going to find my gaze. And as I hear, I'm already starting to feel some emotion. I feel some warmth in my body, in my chest, and I'm going to just connect with me. Really encourage you to just take 10 to 15 seconds before you even start, because we rarely get a chance to really look at ourselves in the mirror. Natanya, thank you. Thank you for your willingness to show up in front of thousands of people who do not know you and now have permission to judge you. Thank you for your willingness to be bold and brave. I trust that my voice is worthy. I trust that my words have power. I trust that the work that I am here to do can positively impact others. I'm really proud of you for showing up, even when it's uncomfortable, even when that little knot in my throat comes up and my hands start to shake. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you. We've come a long way, and we're still here, and we're still going. It just keeps getting better and better. I want to thank you for not giving up on the days that it feels really heavy. And I want to forgive you and give you grace for the days where you did give up, where you didn't rise to the occasion. I love you. And for a long time, I couldn't say that to you with truth and feeling, but now I can. I love you so much. I'm so grateful that I answered that inner knowing. He, who would have ever thought we would make it this far? I love you. I forgive you for everything you've ever felt shame or guilt around. I want to release that from you. I want you to remember that you are enough. I am worthy. I am powerful. I am brave. And vulnerability is my superpower. Thank you for seeing all of me. I don't have to perform. I can just be. I love you. Okay, so as I said, I did not script that. That was completely unprompted. Now, I will also just repeat that I've done this many times. And so, even in those moments, I was feeling a little bit emotional. It is nowhere near what it was when I first started, when I literally couldn't even look at myself in the eye. So, be okay meeting yourself where you are. This is not something where you can't fake yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. You are literally looking yourself in the mirror, right? And so, we want to be honest about where we are and start moving ourselves in the direction of where we're going. So it may start with, this is really hard. I don't know how to do this, but I'm so proud of you for showing up and trying. That probably would have been something I would have said at the start of this journey, because it was really hard. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just proud that I was willing to try something new. The important thing to remember is this is not about becoming this perfect version of yourself. It's about becoming present to the truth of who you really are, beyond the roles, beyond the titles, beyond the labels that we have assigned to ourselves, that others have assigned to us. And that is the work that I'm so passionate about. If you want to go deeper into this work and community, I would love nothing more than to see you in this shift where we do exactly this. We remove the mask, we remove the layers and the weight that we have carried on to perform for the world. And we have space to actually integrate and embody the truth of what we know inside without looking for external validation. We do mirror work, scripting. We have deep conversations where we are leading with vulnerability and authenticity. We get to pull down those walls. You can click the link in my description and grab a coupon code to save on your first month. And I would love nothing more than to see you inside. If this video was helpful for you, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you are willing to practice with your mirror work practice. If you've already started, let me know how it's going. And I cannot wait to see you on the next one. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe this video.